I was driving through West Virginia late one night, heading back home from a weekend trip to visit my cousin. I had work early the next morning, so I didn't have the luxury of staying another night. It was around 11:30 p.m., and I was somewhere in the middle of the mountain roads, where streetlights were basically non-existent, and my car headlights were the only thing illuminating the way ahead. I remember stopping at a small gas station hours earlier for some snacks and energy drinks. It was one of those rundown places with flickering lights and dusty shelves, but the clerk was nice enough. He told me the fastest route back to the interstate would be through an old mining road that cut straight through the hills. I should have known better than to trust a shortcut from a place that didn't even have card readers working. I turned onto the road he mentioned, and the pavement turned to gravel within minutes. There were no signs, no lane markings, just a twisting path through endless dark trees and steep inclines. My phone lost service almost immediately, but I told myself it was fine. I'd be on the interstate in no time. But 20 minutes passed, then 40. Still nothing but woods and darkness. At one point, I drove under this old wooden bridge that looked like it hadn't been used in decades. That's when I saw something weird. On the side of the road, just beyond the reach of my headlights, was a pale figure standing completely still. It was a man, I think, or at least shaped like one. He wasn't walking. He wasn't even looking around. He was just standing there like he was waiting for something. I slowed down a bit as I passed, trying to get a better look without making it obvious. He was wearing what looked like a long coat, maybe dark brown or black, and his head turned to follow my car as I passed. I tried to laugh it off, telling myself it was probably just a local or a hunter. But I couldn't shake the way he turned, like his head twisted too far, too smoothly. I kept going, trying not to look back in the rearview mirror, but after a few more minutes I passed another person. Same coat, same stance, same pale face. This time I didn't slow down. I floored it. My hands were sweating, and every muscle in my body tensed like I was bracing for impact. It didn't make sense. How could the same person be ahead of me again? I drove faster, barely slowing down for curves, praying I wouldn't hit a deer or slide off the road. I just needed to reach the highway or something. Then I saw it again, a third figure standing dead center in the middle of the road this time. I slammed the brakes and skidded to a stop only a few feet away. My heart was pounding in my ears. The figure didn't move. I blinked, and in that blink it was gone. I couldn't breathe. I looked around, half expecting it to be next to my window. But the road was empty. My headlights were still on, the engine still running. I pressed the gas and just kept going. About 10 minutes later, the gravel turned to pavement again, and I nearly cried with relief. But the road didn't lead to an interstate. It led to a small, abandoned town. All the buildings were boarded up, storefronts with shattered glass, a single church with a broken bell tower. I drove slowly through it, hoping maybe I'd find a gas station or someone to ask for directions. But the town was completely dead. And then, my headlights caught something. That same man standing at the entrance of the church, staring directly at me. Only this time he was smiling. I didn't stop. I didn't even blink. I drove straight past, turned down the first road I could find, and didn't look back. I followed that winding road for almost an hour until I finally saw signs for a real highway. I reconnected my phone to GPS and made it home, just as the sun was rising. I told myself it was just my imagination. Maybe exhaustion. Maybe I fell asleep at the wheel and dreamed it all. But a week later, I was scrolling through old forums online about ghost towns in West Virginia, just out of curiosity. There was a photo posted by some urban explorer, taken outside the same church I had passed. The windows were cracked, the wooden frame was rotten, but standing at the entrance in the picture was a man in a long coat. Pale face, blank stare, same smile.